Okay, good morning, students. Today we will discuss the last topic of definite integral, and it is the properties of definite integral. Today we will discuss few properties, and these are very simple properties that we are going to discuss today. The very first property here that we will discuss, if I have any integral from a to b and the variable of integration is here x, okay, then and and if I change the variable of integration, right, and then also there will be same limits. Function I am not changing, remember, function is same, I am just changing the variable of integration, and then there will be no change in the limits. If I just give you one simple example, if I am integrating here x raised to power 4 dx, okay, and the limits are 0 to 1, this will be exactly equals to t raised to power 4 dt. The limits also will be 0 to 1, because here also when we integrate it will be x raised to power 5 upon 5, here t raised to power 5 upon 5, and when you apply the limits, 1 by 5 answer here, 1 by 5 answer here. So here when we change the variable of the integrand, okay, without changing the function, then there will be no change in the limits. This is our first property. And the second property is, if I have the integral a to b, the function fx dx is there, right, then this will be exactly equals to, if I just reverse the order of the limits and I am writing fx dx, then minus sign I will write down outside. Okay, so if the integral is from a to b fx dx, this integral and the integral from b to a fx dx with minus sign outside, both the integrals will have same answer. And one special case is there, so we can write here in particular, if I have the integral from a to a, the lower limit and upper limit both are 0, then the answer of integral will be 0. Okay, this is very much clear. When I integrate anything and apply the upper limit minus lower limit, because upper limit and lower limit both are same, so definitely they will cut each other, the values, and the answer will become 0. So this is our next property. And the third property is, if I have the integral a to b f of x dx, right, and there is a real number c which belongs to this interval a to b, that means there exists some number c, definitely it will be a real number, which is lying between a and b somewhere, then this integral can be written as a to c fx dx plus c to b f of x dx. Same function will be there, right, but the limit has been broken into two parts now. From integral a to b, now it has become sum of two integrals. The first integral will have limit a to c, and the second integral will have limit from c to b. And this property we will be using in the sums where the integrand will be some modulus function. So there the use of this property will be there. Okay, and now the next property, property number 4, what is this? If I have integral 0 to a, okay, first of all a to b, if I have integral a to b f of x dx, right, then this will be same integral a to b f of, this will be a plus b minus x dx. Both the integrals will have same value. Okay, if I have function fx dx, the limits are 0 to a to b, not 0, this is a only, a to b, then the whatever answer is coming here, same answer this integral will have, where the function has been changed. In place of x, what we are writing, lower limit plus upper limit, that means sum of the limits minus x. If I do, then both the integrals will have same answer. Okay, and this property we will be using quite often, and based upon this property we have one similar property, which is the next property, integral 0 to a f of x dx. So this will be integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx only. This property is actually coming from fourth property only. The only difference here, the lower limit is 0 and the upper limit is a. It can be b also, and this property is the widely used property in the whole exercise. Many sums we will find based upon this property. So how we will use the property? Whatever function is given, we will write down and we will mark it as I. Then we will apply this property, and then definitely the integrand will change based upon this property. And we will find some easy way that when I add or subtract the integrals, our answer or our integral will become quite simple. So this is the property that is widely used property, and many sums, that means many sums we will be doing based upon this property. Now for today we will discuss these five properties only I'm giving you, and we will discuss now few sums based upon most of the sums will be based upon this property only, property number 5. But yes, we must know all the properties. And as I mentioned, this property where we are breaking the limit, it will be used in our functions where the integrand will be of modulus function. Okay, so let us start with our exercise 7.10. So we will discuss here the first sum first. So here exercise 7.11, the very first sum is we have to find the integral I. It is 0 to pi by 2 and the integrand is cos square x dx. Now if you just observe the function in the integral, that means the integrand, one method is I can go for substitution. That means I will put this cos square x as 1 plus cos 2x divided by 2, and then I can do the integration. You can always do that method also, you can always apply that method also. And here in this particular exercise we will be using the properties, and based upon properties we will solve our integrals, because this is the new thing that we are learning. So every exercise is based upon one particular method, and that means we will be practicing or solving the sums based upon that particular method to learn that. Okay, so here 0 to pi by 2, the limits are 0 to pi by 2, that means this is a. And let me write down here, just now we have done property fifth property, it was integral 0 to a f of x dx. This is exactly equals to integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. Okay, so here 0 to a, the value of a is pi by 2, so it means we can apply this property here. So when I am applying the property, it will be 0 to pi by 2 only, and this cos square x, that means it is cos pi by 2 minus x whole square can be written dx, because cos square x, okay, if you want we can write down here cos x whole square dx. This is 0 to pi by 2. Okay, now everybody knows cos pi by 2 minus theta, it is sin theta. So here it will become integral 0 to pi by 2 cos pi by 2 minus x will become sin x, so it will become sin square x dx. The given integral is 0 to pi by 2 cos square x. The new integral is 0 to pi by 2 sin square x, and this is the same I, we have just applied the property. So this is nothing new, this is the same I. So here I will write down I only. The given integral, if I mark it as 1, okay, the given integral if I mark it as 1, and after the application of this property, this is our new integral becoming. The sign of equality is there, it means the same integral is there. As I mentioned, this integral and the new integral both will have the same value, sign of equality is there. So this integral if I mark as 2, okay, so this I first is I equals to 0 to pi by 2 cos square x. Second equation is I equals to 0 to pi by 2 sin square x, and we know cos square x plus sin square x is 1. So if I add 1 and 2, so we will write down add 1 and 2. So I plus I, it will become 2I is equals to 0 to pi by 2 cos square x dx plus 0 to pi by 2 sin square x dx. Limits are same, sum of addition sign is there, so it will become 0 to pi by 2 cos square x plus sine square x dx, and this is nothing else, this is 0 to pi by 2 1 dx, and everybody knows what is the integral of 1, it is x, and here 0 to pi by 2, the left hand side we have 2i. Now x, when I apply the limit, it will be pi by 2 minus 0, that means pi by 2, so 2i will be equals to pi by 2, that means answer will be here pi by 4. So this will be our answer. Okay, we have just applied the property. Actually I have increased the number of steps for you people, as this is the first sum. So this, when I notice that the limits in the first equation and second equation are same, so in that step itself I can write down cos square x plus sine square x. So this step I have written extra, and when we are getting this 1, integral x is there. Okay, and when you are mentioning or when you are applying any property, you must mention it, that is must. Okay, we have to write down which property we are applying, so that is important thing. Okay, so we are using this property 0 to a fx dx equals to 0 to a f of a minus x dx. This is our first sum. Now in this exercise, sum number 2 also the limits are 0 to pi by 2, sum number 3 the limits are 0 to pi by 2, sum number 4 the limits are 0 to pi by 2. Okay, then these are the simple sums where we will apply this property straightforward and integral is becoming simple. Then sum number 17 we have, that is 0 to a, that also we will do. So let us do 1 or 2 more sums from this exercise. First of all, where we will practice this property. So let's do sum number 3. So third sum that I have taken, it is 0 to pi by 2. It is we are having sine raised to power 3 by 2x divided by sine raised to power 3 by 2x plus cos raised to power 3 by 2x dx. Sum number 2, same function is there, only power, instead of 3 by 2 we have 1 by 2 power here, 1 by 2 power here, and 1 by 2 power here. So if I do sum number 3, you will be able to do second sum also. Even sum number 4, same, exactly same is there. So let us do this. Once again, the limits are 0 to a is pi by 2, so this given integral we will mark it as 1. Now we will apply our property I am mentioning, because 0 to a fx dx is equals to 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So this integral I, it will become equals to 0 to pi by 2. Here it will become sine pi by 2 minus x whole power 3 by 2 divided by, this function become sine pi by 2 minus x whole power 3 by 2 plus second function is cos pi by 2 minus x whole power 3 by 2, and here dx. Now sine pi by 2 minus x will become cos, this also will become cos, and cos pi by 2 minus x will become sine. So let us simplify it. It is 0 to pi by 2. Here we will get cos raised to power 3 by 2x divided by cos raised to power 3 by 2x plus sine raised to power 3 by 2x dx. Now if you notice, sine 3 by 2x plus cos 3 by 2x, denominators, cos 3 by 2x plus sine 3 by 2x, the denominators are same. In the numerator, the given was sine raised to power 3 by 2x, and after the application of property we are getting cos. So if I add 1 and 2, now this integral if I mark it as 2, when I add here 1 and 2 after the application of property, after simplifying, that means changing the function based upon our trigo, right? When I add this, same denominator is there, but the numerators will get added. So we will write down here, adding 1 and 2, we will get this side, left hand side will become 2i 0 to pi by 2. This integral limits are 0 to pi by 2. Our second integral also limits 0 to pi by 2. So they can be added under the same sign of integration, and we will get sine raised to power 3 by 2x plus cos raised to power 3 by 2x whole divided by sin raised to power 3 by 2x plus cos raised to power 3 by 2x dx. Numerator and denominator, they will get cancelled. In sum number 2, we will get root sin x plus root cos x upon root sin x plus root cos x. Then also it will become 1. Sum number 4, we will get cos raised to power 5x plus sin raised to power 5x upon cos raised to power 5x plus sin raised to power 5x. Then also it will become 1. And our integral is now 0 to pi by 2 1 dx. The left hand side is 2i only. Once again, when you do the integration, apply the limits, it is becoming pi by 2 2i. If 2i is pi by 2, so the value of I once again pi by 4 answer. So first sum, second sum, third sum, fourth sum, all sums same answer is pi by 4. But yes, you have to show the steps, you have to mention the property, that which property you are using, then marking the integrals 1 and 2, then adding and showing it. Okay, that is important. So the first 4 sums, the same way we have done the first and third, you people will be doing sum number 2 and sum number 4, as well as you people will do sum number 17. Okay, so sum number 17, if you also do observe, it is the same sum. There also answer will be then a by 2. Okay, so sum number 17 is also for you people. Now we will discuss one more sum. Okay, and let us discuss here. Let me see which sum we can do, so that no other property you people will be applying here. Okay, we will do here sum number 7, because if we do sum number 7, you people will be able to do sum number 9 also, and the same property we will apply here. Sum number 7, the integral is given here 0 to 1 x 1 minus x power n dx. Okay, so 0 to a, once again same formula, means same property we will apply. We will write down, because integral 0 to a f of x dx, this is equals to integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. Now till now, like first 4 sums and sum number 17, when we were applying the property, we were adding the integrals. Now in this particular sum, let us see how the sum will start and how we will approach to get the answer. Let us apply the property. It will be 0 to a, and in place of x, what will come? A minus x. The value of a is here 1. So here in place of x, sorry, this is 1 only. So here in place of x, it will become 1 minus x. Okay, and in the bracket, we have 1 minus. In place of this x also, what will come? 1 minus x, bracket close, the power is n as such. Nothing, the process method step is very simple. What we are doing, wherever x is there, we are putting a minus x. Our a is 1 in this integral, so wherever x is there, we will put 1 minus x. In place of this x also, 1 minus x will come, and when we simplify this, what we are getting? 0 to 1, this is 1 minus x as such, and here 1, when I open this bracket, 1 minus 1 plus x, so x raised to power n will be left. Now if you just observe, the given integral was tough to integrate, right? The given integrand was tough. I cannot take x inside, I cannot apply the power rule, but when I have applied this property, the integral has become very simple. So here also there is no need to add these two integrals, because there is, if I add these two integrals, I am not getting anything simplified. So there is no need to do that, because it is the same integral, sign of equality is there. So whatever answer this integral will give, same answer this new integral will give, because sign of equality is there in the property. Okay, so here what we will do, it will be 0 to 1, we will just multiply, it will become x raised to power n minus x raised to power n plus 1 dx. And everybody knows how to integrate, that means power rule we will apply. It will become x raised to power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. minus x raised to power n plus 2 upon n plus 2. The integration is done. The limits are 0 to 1. Now this one is the limit for the variable x. So wherever x is there, we will put 1 and we will get here 1 upon n plus 1 minus 1 upon n plus 2. Okay, so if we take the LCM, it will be n plus 1 n plus 2. So here you go, n plus 2 minus n plus 1, n and n cancel. Our answer will be 1 upon n plus 1 into n plus 2. This will be your answer. So there, we remember in this particular sum we are not adding the integrals. Okay, we are just simplifying. Our integrand has been simplified after the application of the same property. So one method was in the first 4 sums, after applying the property we are getting a new function, and if I add the given integral with the new integral, I am getting my integrand in the simplified form. But here, just after the application of property, our integral has been simplified, which we can easily integrate. So this is sum number 7, and exactly sum number 9 you will do, right? So sum number 7, sum number 9 are similar, and sum number 7 we have discussed. Sum number 9 you people will do, and you will be finding it very easy. It can be done easily. Okay, so for let me I think for today this property work is done. I will not give you more sums from this exercise. We have 2 more properties which we will apply in this particular exercise, and those properties we will discuss in the next class. So for today, you people will be able to do the first 4 sums, sum number 7, sum number 9 and sum number 17. Okay, so thank you students.